Welcome and thanks so much for joining us here on the Owatonna Today Show. I'm Deb Gillard, your host of the program, and today is Wednesday, April 11th. We are so very glad you're with us, whether it is on cable TV in the Owatonna area, of course Charter Channel 8, or whether you have found us or directed somebody else to find us out on the internet in the many ways that you can. When you take a look and hop on your Facebook, look for us there and like us. That way you'll get notifications when our programs are uploaded. And you can also search for us through Google and YouTube, and in any case, there are a lot of ways to find our programming on the air. We, of course, welcome information from you as well. We pass along a lot of community event information at the end of the show, and we are always looking for guest ideas and show topic ideas as well, so take note of our email address and our cell phones on the screen throughout the course of the program. We have a very good show for you today. Coming up a little bit later on in the program, we went out on location, actually, to visit with Beth Svenby, the recent honoree for the Woman of Achievement from the Business Women, Owatonna Business Women, and we had a very nice conversation with her. We can get to know her a little bit better with you. But first of all, on our program today, when we come back for our first break, we have Captain Jeff Mundale here from the Owatonna Police Department, and we'll be talking about a new program that's getting up and running. So let's take this break, and we'll be right back. Please stay with us.
Hello, I'm Shawn McNulty with the Sterling House Assisted Living, a part of Brookdale Senior Living. Our mission is to enrich the lives of those we serve with compassion, respect, excellence, and integrity. We are a proud sponsor of the Owatonna Today Show.
Hi, I'm Dr. Beth Gillard of Horizon Eye Care Professionals, eye care you can trust. We're proud supporters of Owatonna Today.
Hi, I'm Glenn Mager.
And I'm Tim Thomas of the Brick Mager Funeral Home, and we're proud to serve the Medford and Owatonna areas with cremation and traditional funeral services.
And we're proud to be a part of the Owatonna Today Show.
Welcome back, and thanks so much for joining us on this Wednesday, April 11th. And as I mentioned, Captain Jeff Mundale joins us from the Owatonna Police Department. How are you?
Good, thank you, Deb. How are
Good.
you?
Very good, thank you. And it's always nice to have someone here from the police department giving us a little update as to what is going on in our community and what new things or tried and true things, I guess, that you're doing. But one of the things I know that we want to talk about today is the Police Reserve Program. This is new on our radar here and new to our police department, so let's talk a little bit about that. A reserve program is designed, maybe Jeff, maybe that's a good starting point, to do what?
To help supplement the patrol division, to be engaged in the community, to kind of relieve our police staff in areas that they can focus on other responsibilities.
Okay, all right. And we've not had one, to the best of our knowledge here anyway. We're collectively talking about it, and as far as we know, there hasn't been one here. If there ever was, it's long enough ago that we're not remembering it. And so, but it's not a new concept or a new program in other departments, I take it?
Correct.
Is it a program that's kind of modeled after any other in particular? Or?
Yeah, there's programs going on in our area, in the Austin, Mauer area, Waseca Police Department. Northfield has police reserves. Okay. And I came from an agency that had a police reserve program, so we're not a stranger to kind of some of the activities they participate in, but it's strictly just shaped on what our department and community needs.
Okay, all right. Well, it sounds very interesting. Let's talk about, you did kind of mention the goal is to supplement our law enforcement. Are these paid positions or volunteer positions, or how does that work out?
Yeah, the police reserves are, we're recruiting volunteers, so they're not paid. However, there are certain situations that could result in pay, such as wedding dances that would require a uniform officer, and some other events such as street dances where they would supplement our licensed peace officers as it would be required by city ordinance to have a licensed officer there. Okay,
so we know that a lot of times we see uniformed officers at these events, and we know, and as you just mentioned, by law, especially where there's alcohol being served and things like that, we're required to have a licensed peace officer there. If there's a large crowd and more than one needed, those are the type of paid positions perhaps the reserve can come in and supplement that, and because it's an entity or a wedding dance or a club or whatever, they might be the ones then paying the reserve.
Correct.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
And in those situations, the licensed peace officer doesn't necessarily have to be at those events. It's been sufficient for a reserve officer, or in the past, and currently it's been the Sheriff's Department's special deputies that have been attending those events.
Okay. All right. So we may see a little shift in that. But otherwise, it's volunteer. Now, those are probably, for most of us in the community, the most visible examples that we would see. But a lot of the activities that would be, that the reserves would be participating in would be what I guess I would call kind of more behind the scenes, really jumping in and helping the police department. And let's talk about some of those cases.
Okay. Well, they are somewhat behind the scenes, but they're definitely visible in the public. They will be driving a police car. It'll be marked as a reserve officer.
Okay.
They will be in uniform. I haven't decided what color uniform that would be.
Okay.
We may differentiate the reserve officer between the licensed peace officer with maybe a light blue uniform similar to what our community service officers wear.
Oh, okay.
They will be assisting in like traffic accident scenes,
Okay.
directing traffic.
Okay.
They'll be in the spotlight on parades.
Okay.
They will be assisting with youth and community events such as like bike rodeos, fingerprint clinics,
Okay.
Night to Unite. We'll be calling them out to assist at crime scenes, such as like holding an outer perimeter to keep people out. We'll be calling them out for like a search of possibly evidence at a crime scene or a missing person.
Okay.
So in all these capacities, they will be very visible in the public.
Sure.
And in all those scenarios I just listed, that's strictly a volunteer basis.
Okay.
But this is how I explain how it would be a supplement to our police officers.
Exactly. So where an additional body or two or three or whatever might be needed to really allow law enforcement to do its job or to investigate at a crime scene or to really, move forward with some of the things that they need to do, the reserve then would really kind of help hold the perimeter, really kind of fill in on the outside gaps so
Exactly,
our licensed police officers can do those things that they need to do to move forward.
Exactly.
Very interesting. It's something that you've had kind of as an idea for a little while.
Correct.
There are a lot of pieces to putting something like this together. What are some of those?
We need to write policy
Okay.
in terms of just some risk management pieces. We have to put a training plan together
Okay.
so that we don't these candidates or possible citizens that come forward to be part of our reserve program, we don't expect them to have a law enforcement background or any law enforcement training, so we need to be able to provide that in-house.
Okay.
We are likely to see some interested persons that are law enforcement bound,
Okay.
that have training. We can certainly utilize those people to assist us with training programs to get the rest of the group
Sure.
staffed and ready. What I do want to make note here is the reserves are not going to have any law enforcement or enforcement capacity. They're not going to be stopping cars. They can't stop citizens. They're just
Okay.
going to be, as I say, a supplement. They're going to be allowed to do some solo patrols, such as house checks.
Okay, I was going to ask what exactly is a solo patrol, but
And
there-
occasionally we'll have requests from the cemeteries that they're having vandalism, so we'll put them in cemeteries for some extra
for some
visibility.
security
Correct.
and visibility. Okay. Okay. So when you're talking about getting this program in place and writing policy and training and things like that, and you mentioned that some may come from perhaps law enforcement training, their goal is to become a law enforcement officer. However, they may not be particularly individuals that are very accessible. Maybe they're in school, and that
Correct.
doesn't make them the most accessible,
Right.
perhaps. Are you looking for people who are pretty accessible then, as far as being able to respond to some of these things when needed?
Correct, we are. We're looking for a variety, and I want our reserve unit to kind of really model and be the face of Owatonna. We're looking for a variety of demographics and ethnic backgrounds.
Okay.
We're not interested in putting on law enforcement, strictly law enforcement students that are at college, and they're just not accessible. We're looking
Right.
for just a variety of people that can maybe drop their day jobs and come out or be interested in any emergency call out any time of the day.
Okay, so they may have some flexibility. They may have an employer who understands and encourages them to be in something like this. In any case, that's going to allow them to be a bit more accessible than someone who's locked into a job or a school day or
Correct.
something like that
Right.
that they might not be able to. So the anticipation is really they could be used at any time of the day or night, like you said. Some of the patrols in cemeteries where vandalism or things might be happening. You are looking to, when all is said and done, policies written, trainings happening, you're looking for about how many individuals?
Right now, I'm estimating about 20.
Okay,
You
be a big
on
help.
Right, and if we have an emergency situation or a call out, I'm probably likely to maybe get 5, 8 people out.
Sure.
So that's kind of why we want to have kind of some depth to our program.
Right, a good
and
base.
some variety of backgrounds.
Okay, so men, women, ages, ethnicities, doesn't really matter. As you are working toward that goal then, how does someone find out about it? Say they're watching us now, or and it's one of those individuals or one of our viewers knows someone who might be interested in this
Right.
sort of thing. How do they get the process started?
They can contact me by phone,
Yeah,
or
we
if
have
I'm
your
not
number. There
if
you
I'm not at the office, they can leave a message at that number provided.
Okay.
That would be the best way, just to leave a message. Or if they know of somebody interested, they can pass my name along and give them that phone number to the
Okay.
police department. We are available on the website if they want to catch me by email.
Sure.
They can go to our department website. I already have created a somewhat of an interest list through casual conversation and talking
Okay.
with people and giving presentations throughout the public. There's people that have stepped forward and are very interested in the program. So
Good.
I have their names, and I'll be networking with those people in the weeks ahead to try to recruit people. We'll have something on our website as a recruiting tool. We'll put a piece out in the Owatonna People's Press, and maybe through this forum here with you, we'll get the word out as well.
Okay. And what can people expect then? So say they get a hold of you, and then what kind of a process? I'm kind of assuming there would be background checks and those things.
Okay. They'll start with just a written application.
Okay.
And then we'll have to have some sort of selection piece.
Okay.
They will have to submit to a background check, oral interviews,
Okay.
which will comprise of a panel of some police department members, and then submit to a fingerprint card, a criminal background check. I think I mentioned that already.
Yep.
And then
And
go through the
have-
training program.
Have the training program, and then,
Correct.
and as you mentioned, volunteer for the most part, except where there are events there where they might getting paid. And really, the only thing then that is a budgetary issue for the police department is really outfitting them, probably with that uniform that they need to be visible and out in the public.
Correct.
So it sounds like a great program, and it's just kind of now hitting to where it's going to take off.
Correct.
Your goal is to have it going this summer.
I would like it to go in the summer,
Okay,
yes.
which is not very far away.
Right. So I got to get moving.
Captain Mundale is your go-to guy, I guess I'm going to say, and
Correct.
and we had his obviously his contact information there, and as you mentioned, Jeff, it's great to find information on the website
Yeah.
too. Always up to date for our
Right.
police department.
Hopefully this will reach out to many households and we'll get some phone calls.
Well, good luck with the program, and we'll have you
Thank
on
you.
another date in the future, and you can let us know how it's going with our
Okay.
reserves, okay?
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jeff. Okay, we'll take a break for our supporters, and we'll head out on location to visit with Beth Svenby. Please stay with us.
I'm Diane Wilson of Profinian Financial, the bank that helps you achieve your financial dreams. Profinian Financial is proud to be a supporter of the Owatonna Today Show.
Hi, I'm Ellie, and welcome to the Owatonna Public Library.
Hey, I'm Harjo, and welcome to the Owatonna Public Library.
Hi, my name is Jessica, and welcome to the Owatonna Public Library.
Hi, I'm Isaiah. Welcome to Owatonna Public Library.
I like that.
Mayo Clinic Health System in Owatonna, in partnership with Hy-Vee, Owatonna Hospital, Owatonna Park and Rec, Youth First, and local businesses, encourage you to join the 2012 On the Move Community Walking Program. The program will kick off on April 17th at 6 o'clock at Mineral Springs Park and runs through May 21st. Our goal is to walk around the globe with the final destination of London, England, the home of the 2012 Olympics. The program is simple. Simply call in your steps on Monday mornings at On the Move at mayo.edu. Track your steps throughout the weeks, and we'll look forward to seeing you on May 21st at the celebration. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Brenda Bednar with Summit Mortgage, and I'm a proud supporter of the Owatonna Today Show.
I needed more than just another dead-end job. I wanted a career, so I expressed myself.
With the kids off to college, I decided it was time for me to go back to work and express myself.
Express got me in touch with some really great companies. Now, I'm on my way to a great career.
Express Employment Professionals is in contact with thousands of companies in need of quality employees. Come in now and get the job you deserve.
Express yourself today.
Aloha. Come join in the fun at the 26th Annual Night of Nights Benefit Auction, Saturday, April 21st at St. Mary's School in Owatonna.
Doors open at 4 p.m. Admission is only $5. New and exciting items available to bid on at the silent and live auctions.
And get your cash and car raffle ticket today for a chance to win $15,000 or a brand new 2012 Chrysler 200 LX.
Great food and cash bar available. You don't want to miss this great community event.
Mahalo!
Welcome to our Owatonna Today Show viewers. We are out and about on location as we love to do. This time we're sitting very comfortably in our host's home. We're with Beth Svenby. How are you, Beth?
I'm great, thank you.
And thank you for allowing us to come into your home and spend a little
Absolutely.
casual time with you and getting to know you a little bit better. Our viewers will know that we recently followed the Owatonna Business Women kind of up to their event, leading up to their Woman of Achievement and Pioneer Woman. Following that, we were able to have Jackie Oslin on. She was the Pioneer Woman, received that award. And you, among several candidates, were there and did not know until that evening, of course, who was going to be named as the Woman of Achievement, and it was you, and congratulations.
Thank you so much.
So we want to have you on the program to talk a little bit more about what that meant going through that process, what it means to you, and just a little bit more about yourself. So
Sure.
I guess we can start at square one. Where did you grow up, Beth?
I actually grew up here in Owatonna, Minnesota, and my father still resides here. My mother did too, but she passed away a few years ago. Then, when I went to college, I had moved away for the college years, and about 17 other years I was a high school counselor throughout the state of Iowa.
Okay.
When my mom did develop some colon cancer, that seemed to be pretty rapidly taking her down a different path than we had expected. I decided to move back home and take care of her through her final days. And so that was a great time in my life, and an unexpected journey brought me back to Owatonna, and I never left again. And so it's a wonderful place to be back.
Well,
too.
we're glad you're here. And now you've been with the school system here
Yes.
for how long? How long have you been back
I have
here?
been in the system here. This is my 6th year.
Okay.
And then prior to that was on the Owatonna School Board for a couple years.
Okay. All right. So let's talk a little bit about that. I know that the Woman of Achievement, and we were just talking before we started the interview, I know that the Woman of Achievement, largely they're nominated, and also the decisions are based on women who, it seems to me that there's a personal aspect, there's professional aspect, and there's certainly the community involvement aspect. So if we can, since we're kind of on your personal life, just I think you talked about in your interviews or spoke to overcoming obstacles in your life, and you may have just mentioned one of them.
Yeah. I think growing up here, I had envisioned the way that my life would just simply fall into place.
Well, we do that,
yes. And it was quite fairy tale-like,
yeah.
and which was wonderful, and it would have been wonderful to have that path. But, my journey's taking me down some different roads through some changes and turns in different life situations, and including the death of my mom, which was one of those, and each of those challenges has kind of given me an opportunity to become a more confident, independent person, to rise above all those challenges and look for the good in sometimes what might be the bad. And I think personally, you don't always think of a woman of achievement in terms of those personal struggles and overcoming obstacles, but the more that I have gone through this process and learned about other women of achievement, I think there is an aspect of the personal side as well.
Well, I think so too. It's maybe persevering and overcoming obstacles that make you the person that you are in your professional life and in the community as well, and gives you probably a strength. Is there anything that you count on as being the most influential, I guess, in getting you through and over and beyond some of the obstacles that you've encountered personally?
I think
family support, personal
strength.
strength.
There was a lot of family support, and there was a moment that I had with my mom prior to her passing when she said, I didn't raise you to be a quitter, and I won't let you start being one now.
Okay.
And those are just some words that have kind of stuck with me. And then when the challenges come forward, I'm not a quitter, and I've chosen not to quit in the past. And by golly, my mom's certainly looking down on me, wouldn't want me to.
All right, she's going.
She would be all over that.
Going,
yeah. So you do keep going, and I hope one of the things that have happened, and I've witnessed it, is my own children seeing those obstacles come forward for me personally as their mom, somebody that I think they believe is always a strong, confident figure. And we try to be, but we still have those challenges. And so my ultimate responsibility and goal, and maybe turning those obstacles into achievements, is that my kids can see that other people do it and that they can do it too, and to build that perseverance within themselves.
That's very important. How old are your children?
I have 4 children, 17, 14, 9, and 7.
Okay, busy. And your
Very
husband
busy. Is Brent Svenby.
Okay.
And he's also a Owatonna native, and his parents live here in town and have been a great support to us as well.
Okay, all right. So that is, and setting a good example for your children. There's just about nothing more important that we can do.
Yeah.
Then you bring that out into your business life, and let's talk about that. Your journey through the school system here has been, we recognize you as assistant principal. Do I have the title right at the high school? Okay, so correct me if I'm wrong.
Yep.
You're currently where?
I currently am the principal at Washington Elementary.
Okay.
Yeah, I was the assistant at the high school for 5 years, and now I've come over to Washington Elementary just this year, and I had never been in an elementary school in all of my 22 years in education.
Oh, goodness. Okay.
But I have fallen in love with little people and their excitement and their energy and their joy for life. I have never had a job probably more appropriate and fitting for me than the one that I have right now.
Really? Okay. What have you found to be the very best things that you've enjoyed this year?
You know, I think, and maybe it's part of the motherly aspect in me, but you create an environment that has fun and where you just simply love the children, and have an opportunity to watch the light bulb go on and the growth occur and the excitement to come to where you are each and every day.
Yeah.
There's nothing better than that.
No, there really
and
isn't.
the staff is commendable at Washington, and we're having a really, really nice year.
Good. That is very important. Then the community outreach part of it, as we move toward that, of course we know you, and we're going to be having you on again shortly here to talk about the From the Heart Half Marathon.
Right.
So in case our viewers, they probably are aware of it, but if they're not, just kind of go back to the startup of that.
From the Heart is probably one of the greatest opportunities that I've had in my life, to give to others in a way that I've never been able to give before. I had heard several years ago, 4 years ago actually, I'd heard about a young lady in town that was a mom and had breast cancer. I did not know her, but heard about her in church and just knew that I needed to do something for her. And I lost a couple nights sleep on what I should do, and woke up and I told my husband I need to do something, and he said, "You have enough going on, go back to sleep." But you didn't listen. But I didn't listen because there was something inside me that said this has to happen. And so I woke up from a dream actually, and the dream was about From the Heart, a half marathon and a 5K, and it was just, it seems very odd and it sounds very odd, but it was this vision that I just had. And I called a couple of my girlfriends and said, "Will you help me?" And they're like, "Absolutely." And to date, we've given over $90,000 away to families on a journey with cancer, which is a very emotional journey, which we all know, especially those that have been touched by that. And it's powerful. And I think most people think that the families that we give the dollars to have the greatest reward in the race, but really in all actuality we're the ones that have the greatest reward. I've met wonderful people, I've built great long-lasting relationships, I've learned more about myself and others, and I've been able to give, and there's nothing more powerful than giving.
And isn't that amazing too, like you said, when you called a couple of girlfriends and said, "Would you help?" and they said absolutely. When you have that kind of spirit to join you, and people who obviously just took it on faith that you had something good going on and they wanted to come and help you with it. And so again, we'll be having you on the show to talk a little bit more about this year's event coming up.
That will be great.
One thing I didn't get to talk, we were again visiting a little bit before we started here. You were also instrumental in bringing maybe some new programming and things into the high school when you were there.
Yeah, I did. I was given a couple challenges at the high school to implement a couple new programs, and one was the 9th grade academy. We had a real high failure rate amongst our 9th graders, something that we don't want to have. And so we brought in the 9th grade academy, and it was just a little bit of a different way of restructuring the day and building more of a team concept. So our 9th graders who might struggle a little bit more at school were with the same core group of teachers for the entire school year for all of their core content. And they could build relationships, they could have that home feeling, that team atmosphere, and created a lot of reward systems so that we could reward their successes as well as the behavior that we wanted to see more of. And we've seen great results in that program for
Kind of
students
keeping
as a
the
whole.
transitions to a minimum and
Right.
really supporting that child
And
all
building
way
the
through.
relationship piece of education. Sometimes when you get in high school, you go to a different teacher every 9 weeks, every quarter, and it's hard to keep those relationships real solid and know that everybody's in it together. But in the academy concept, when you have them all year long, everybody is a team. And it's important.
Well, we could talk for longer than this. I know we could. It sounds as though you've had a fulfilling life, certainly full of challenges, but also opportunities grabbed and taken hold of and moved forward with them. And so we wish you the very best of luck. And
Thank you so
again, our
much.
congratulations. And from our viewers, I'm sure you can tell why Beth is the Woman of Achievement. And we thank you so much for joining us. And we will have you on again very shortly to talk about From the Heart.
Sounds
it's very,
great.
very much a pleasure being with you today. And we
thank you.
thank our viewers for joining us on location and getting to know Beth Svenby a little bit better as well for the Owatonna Today Show.
Hi, I'm Mike.
And I'm Jake with Napa Auto Parts.
Napa has the know-how for all your automotive needs.
Napa is a proud supporter of the Owatonna Today Show.
The Owatonna Care Center is excited to announce our new partnership with Dr. Middle and Dr. Wilcox of Long-Term Care Professionals. This partnership ensures that residents can be seen right here at the Owatonna Care Center when needed. With the special on-site care long-term care professionals will be delivering to our facility, our goal is to decrease hospital visits and ensure special one-on-one care for each resident. Long-term care professionals and the Owatonna Care Center are dedicated to improving the clinical management for our residents, ensuring that they receive the highest quality of care.
Do you know how to safely dispose of your expired or unused prescription and non-prescription medications? Not by flushing them down the toilet or putting them in the garbage. Doing so pollutes our rivers, streams, and drinking water supply. Take it to the box instead for safe, secure disposal. It's easy. Bring your unused medications in their original containers to the drop-off locations listed on the screen and drop them in the Take It to the Box drop box. Proper disposal of unwanted medications keeps them out of the hands of children and out of our environment. This is a message from the Safe and Drug-Free Coalition of Steele County.
And it's time to wrap it up on this Wednesday, April 11th, with a few announcements. There is best-selling Christian fiction author Beverly Lewis today at the Owatonna Public Library. Please get a hold of them if you would like to attend that. Spring Street sweeping schedule continues. That's a tongue twister there. Has been going on all week and is continuing tomorrow and Friday as well. Call 774-7308 or go on the city website to find out the parameters for the street sweeping. That's where you get to clean off your boulevard and into the street so they can sweep it up. Shred the word, protect your identity, and benefit the Steele County Transitional Housing. Take your documents for free document shredding, hosted by True Wealth Advisors, and it will be going on at their location at 1807 St. Paul Road. That is Friday, April 13th from 11:30 to 1 o'clock. And again, a great benefit for transitional housing. Steele County Historical Society is hosting tour guide training this Saturday. Give them a call, 451-1420, if you're interested in being a tour guide for the upcoming season. The Order of the Eastern Star Masonic Lodge is having a Bunko fundraiser this coming Saturday, April 14th. Doors open at 1:30 and Bunko starts at 2. And don't forget, the Spring Style Show is going on for the Steele County Clothesline to benefit them. That is 11:30 social time at the Owatonna Country Club this Saturday with noon lunch and fashion show. So a lot of things on the calendar. We remind you to join us on Friday when we'll have a couple of upcoming events to talk about: Big Brothers Big Sisters Bowl for Kids' Sake and the St. Mary's Night of Nights auction. We'll see you then.